Check, check, mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Getting things turned on. Check, check, mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Getting things. All right, if you can hear me now, we are just getting some things turned on behind the scenes and getting set. We'll be jumping on here momentarily in about 30 seconds, I think. And so, as you're logging on, let me know where you're watching from and any questions you may have. We'll be able to talk about things and have a little open mic night here on this Sunday night just after 8 o'clock. Again, I'm Meteorologist Jacob Dickey, and we will stand by here. Let me just take care of this last little thing, and we'll be jumping on here. All right. Happy Sunday evening, everyone. Meteorologist Jacob Dickey here in the WCIA 3 Weather Center. We're going to have a little fun every Sunday night, it's the hope, and connect with you sometime around 8 o'clock. That's what I hope to do every Sunday I'm working here, and we can connect, talk about the weather, share anything else that's going on, answer questions as well, and get to know each other a little bit more here as far as this goes. So tonight's plan, what we want to do is talk a little bit, first off, what's up with space? There's some cool things that have been happening. We've had some reports, videos, photos, and questions from you. We'll be sure and answer those. We're also going to talk about some mild and sunny stretch that's coming here our way. It should be stretch at the T. It's okay, a little quick typo there. And then an incoming storm system, all of that and more is what we'll answer. So we're going to talk about the Christmas star first. This is a really interesting thing. Before I get more on this, you can look at the graphic. I'd like to give some shout outs from some folks as far as who is checking on in. So we've got Roxanne in Duncan, Oklahoma. We've got Caitlin in southwestern Champaign. Bill in Danville. Cooks Mills checking in. That's Wendy there. Russell in Rantoul. We've got Tina in Chrisman. Laura checking in from the north side of 74. Candy from Saybrook. Karen in Tolona. We've got Bonnie checking in from Gibson City. If you have any questions at any point, I can watch the chat and answer those, and I'll keep shooting my eyes down there to see if there's any questions. But by and large, this to me is one of the coolest things that's happening here over the next few days with what's going on. A Christmas star is what we kind of phrase it here. A lot of astronomers talking about this. I'm a meteorologist, and that doesn't mean I talk about spacey stuff, but we kind of act as the station scientist here in the weather department. So we're going to talk about things not only at the surface and on the ground. Saturn and Jupiter on their way towards the Great Conjunction of 2020. Essentially what that means is that they appear like they merge together. So today, December 6th, they're a little far apart here. By measurements, they measure in degrees, and so about a degree apart in the sky. And each night, they'll get closer and closer here. Some of you have been watching this since the summertime. Each night, it's closer and closer. And by December 21st, the two planets will appear as if they're one star. This is something that hasn't happened since 1226. And a very cool thing here. So look out to the west and southwest horizon about 45 minutes after sunset. Sunset time around now is about 4:30. So 5 to 5:30 usually you can get out. Tonight, not a great night. Tomorrow night, probably not either. But we'll have some good nights ahead where we can look at this. And hopefully for December 21st, when they're at the closest they can be, that will be something we can see out to the west and southwest. So very cool. I've got a story up on WCIA.com. We've shared it on social media if you want to learn more about this cool sky show that Mother Nature is giving us. Here's another thing. Anyone heard of the STARLINK satellites? It's a program that's launched by Elon Musk. And what they're doing is sending a bunch of satellites up. The goal is they want to provide worldwide internet to folks. Some folks have reported this and said, hey, this looks kind of weird. And what's going on here? You'll see almost a string of pearls in the sky rolling on by. And those are the STARLINK satellites that are flying on by. When they were launched, they launch new satellites every so often. You see them there, and they roll on by pretty quickly. Usually the best viewing time is when they pass by about 30 minutes after sunset. And that tends to happen in phases. We actually have a couple of good viewing opportunities moving forth here. Probably not Monday night, tomorrow night, maybe Tuesday night. For sure, Wednesday night I think is going to be the best here. Wednesday night, 5:27, look to the northwest sky, and then they will go from northwest to east. Usually they're in the sky about 3 to 5 minutes going from one end to the other as far as it goes. So watch for that. Maybe you've seen this before. It's not aliens. It's the STARLINK satellites that Elon Musk is putting up there. So that's one cool thing. And then we've had the International Space Station flyover. Of course, there's a University of Illinois alumnus up there, an astronaut. The timing of their passing by here overhead over Champaign-Urbana. Again, Monday night, not going to be great viewing. Hopefully Tuesday night we can clear the clouds out in time. I would mark your calendars for Wednesday to look for it. It'll be a single bright dot in the sky that rolls on by fairly quickly. You'll notice it's moving faster than an airplane. And the timing Wednesday is just before 5 o'clock. So there's all kinds of cool spacey stuff to go out and look. Take the kids out, take advantage of that. Again, we're looking at Tuesday night maybe, but better chance looks to be Wednesday night for the best viewing for some STARLINK satellites and the International Space Station. Usually that time in the sky is about 3 to 5 minutes. All right, let's jump down to talk about more of the weather here before we get too much further along. We were watching for some flurries earlier today, and tonight that's going to be the case again. Isolated flurries out there, mostly cloudy sky. North and west winds 3 to 6 miles an hour are expected. The chance for flurries is low. We've put a 10% there more as a placeholder. No accumulation, no impacts expected with these batches of flurries that are coming and going here. And really through Monday morning, it's going to be another area-wide event for us, at least for the chance. Doesn't mean you'll get it. Isolated. Again, isolated means far and few between, but that could be in our entire area here. Going to reiterate, no impacts, no accumulation. This is not the type of event that winter lovers would like. Just some of these passing flurries with these low clouds. We may get another round Monday night into Tuesday morning, and we could even get one Tuesday night, depending on how things play out. I think it'll be more along and east of US 51. Of course, that runs from Bloomington down through Wapella, Clinton, into Maroa, Forsyth, Decatur, down south towards Assumption and Moweaqua, Pana, down towards Vandalia. East of there seems to be the best chance. We may get a few to the west too, but I think the better odds are off to the east. We've got these little upper-level disturbances that are rolling in from north to south as far as it goes. So that's what we're expecting here as far as the chance for flurries. Not seeing anything now, but that light gray color, an indication that there's some low clouds in place. Every once in a while, you can get a little bit of cloud physics in there. Get a little flurries to fall, and we think that there's another piece of energy off to the north here coming our way. Right up here, very fine in nature, but there's a little upper level low that's racing to the south here. That should be here probably after midnight or so, I think, to give us a few flurries. Most of this happening when many folks are asleep more than likely, but we'll watch it and keep our eyes on it for you. Not expecting any problems from this. Here's the fun part, though. This is what I like. So you kind of look at the pattern here. We've had a couple of these little disturbances that have raced south from Canada, the backside of that big nor'easter that went up the east coast, bringing a lot of snow. Still some snow flurries in Maine. This is going to, I think, be a familiar track this year. You may have heard of La Nina, El Nino. We're heading into a La Nina year, which just describes how the waters of the Pacific are warm, and that can play an impact in our weather patterns. Typically, like what we're going into now, an La Nina year, we tend to see more of these tracks from north to south. A big common name, many of you have probably heard, Alberta Clipper. This is more fun than anything. Looking at it here, Alberta Clipper is the most common name, and that's because it originates off the Rocky Mountains in Alberta and races to the east and south. These aren't true Alberta Clippers, but this is probably a path that we're going to be familiar with here moving forward. If it comes from Saskatchewan, They call it a Saskatchewan screamer. How funny is that? And then a Manitoba mauler. That's the names that the Canadians up there have dubbed some of these things. I thought more than anything this would be fun. But a little fun fact there, again, this is not a true Alberta Clipper, but these quick-moving systems. Alberta Clippers usually are notorious for bringing a lot of cold air with them. You sometimes get a quick snow event with winds even. Sometimes it's a quick 6-hour blizzard. And you get a lot more chance for precip than these little things here. This is more just a little upper level energy. But that pattern, again, what I think in a La Nina year, a La Nina winter, like we're looking at, going to be something. So we may get to say some names like Alberta Clippers, Saskatchewan Screamers, and Manitoba Maulers. Fun to say. Am I right? Right? Anyone else cracking up at home about that? All right, let's keep rolling on here and talk more about tomorrow. So again, we're going to keep the clouds in place more than likely. That little piece of energy just helps to reinforce some cloud cover in place. And so Monday, probably going to be partly to mostly cloudy, maybe more overcast than not. We may get a little sunshine in, but I think with the clouds hanging around, that's going to keep our temperatures a bit cooler. We're going to say upper 30s and low 40s for us out there. So we'll watch. A few flurries may mix in, better odds in the mornings, and again in the evenings into Monday night. But very much a standard day, light winds at the surface. We'll watch. Again, if you get a little sunshine tomorrow, consider yourself lucky. There will be some more coming here. It'll take a little while, I think. FUTURETRAK showing again tonight. Here comes that little piece of energy bringing us a better chance for some of these flurries as we roll after midnight to about 8 a.m. tomorrow or so. The daytime may have a few spot flurries out there. We'll see. And by few, I mean, one or two spitting down here or there. Then we go into Monday night, and we may get a few more flurries out there. And that's something we'll watch. The opportunity is there if we can get another piece of energy that races down to the jet stream overhead. And then into Tuesday morning, same thing. FUTURETRAK now is starting to suggest the clouds are going to hang around more Tuesday and through Tuesday afternoon and evening. It's even trying to suggest that maybe we get another round of that quick flurry opportunity with no impacts, no accumulation. But what will happen is if we keep the clouds on Tuesday, we'll see those temperatures probably stay in the upper 30s as opposed to the low 40s. And those lows at night won't drop down nearly as much. When we have low clouds in place, one, they're notorious to get out in a timely fashion. Every once in a while they'll clear out, but they can stick around like a hair in a biscuit for quite a while. So we think this may be the case where we keep a mostly cloudy sky through much of the day Tuesday before the sunshine finally returns on Wednesday. And while we have those clouds in place, then the opportunity is there for some of those flurries to mix on in. So that's kind of what we're expecting here from our FUTURETRAK. Again, here we go, Tuesday afternoon and evening brings another quick round on in. Here's the good news, though. This cooler, cloudier weather not going to last long. Look at that, Wednesday and Thursday going to be the best days this week. Sunshine and sunshine, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, not the case, but we're still thinking low 50s in spots given what's coming our way. More than that in a second. Wednesday, Thursday, low, even middle 50s out there. Our average temperature this time of year, generally about 39 or 40 in the afternoon, so a good 10 to 15 above average. With that sunshine, going to be great out there. If you can take lunch outside, go for a walk after work, enjoy it as you can. Those are going to be your days to do that. All right, now let's start talking about what's coming after that. Friday will be the first day we get the chance for some showers in the region. We'll watch it closely here. We think we could get a swath of ½ inch upwards to an inch. There still, at this point, is not a whole lot of confidence. Day by day, model run by model run, confidence will continue to grow. And we think that we're going to get rain regardless around here. How it comes, when it comes, and whether or not we could mix in a little wintry precip remains to be seen here. But it seems like we'll get some much-needed rain across parts of central Illinois. Remember, we're in that drought, and so that'll be something we watch. Here goes another nor'easter. The good news, this one stays off to the coast, not going to cause too much problems up the eastern seaboard. Just some rain there. We think we'll get a system to come off the Rocky Mountains as we go Thursday into Friday. Probably more than likely, I'm looking at Friday afternoon through Saturday midday or so with the timing of this. There's a window of opportunity. The rain could arrive Friday morning, and it could stay around through Saturday night, Sunday morning. I think we're going to get the main batch of it, though, Friday night, Saturday morning. And with the low pressure off to our north and west here, there'll be a lot of strong winds above the surface. And I can't rule out some gusty winds with this here, with maybe a stronger storm on the table. That's very low chance, but it is on the table. We'll let you know when things like that are occurring. The closer we get, we can start to scratch off some things. And while I'm on that, then, as this low passes off to the east, then, depending on how it works out, there may be an opportunity to get some cold air in on the backside, especially if we can keep some lingering precipitation into Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, Sunday morning. A lot of cold air whipping in behind that cold front could mean we could get a transition to a rain-snow mix or maybe a little bit more. That's what we're watching at this point. I'm not going to say, yes, we're going to get a bunch of snow, or yes, we're going to get a severe weather event. That's not the way this works this far out. We're more looking for key details here. There is some suggestion that we could get some strong winds aloft, which could mix down, giving us some gusty showers and maybe a few thunderstorms. There's also some suggestions cold air could come in on the backside. So we'll watch it closely and update things as we move forth here. Then we should dry things out. This particular run has us more dry than not on Sunday. I'm thinking that's going to end up being what happens, but I will leave a very low-end chance on our 7-day forecast for a few showers or maybe some snow showers Sunday, depending on how things work out at this point. We're a good 5 to 7 days out as far as it goes. So we'll watch that. That's our next big weather maker. In the meantime, we got nice weather Wednesday, Thursday. That's where you want to take advantage of things here. And certainly, hopefully, Tuesday night, for sure, Wednesday night, get a look at some of that spacey stuff. I'll make sure and schedule a post to go out Wednesday nights and remind you on my Facebook page, and we'll keep stuff updated as well to watch things here moving forward. All right, we talked about it. Here's the drought. This is something that we don't like to see, and hopefully we can get enough rain to help fight this back. But certainly, I'll be honest, I know I got some folks watching from Oklahoma on here. The way that 2011 went, we had that big drought. It looks a lot like that here. In fact, I'm going to step off screen and zoom out, kind of getting the inklings of what's going on. You look at all of this dry weather out here. That's not a pattern we want to see at this point, and that could very well transition into a warmer, drier summer next year. So we need all the rain we can get. 2011 was bad for Texas and Oklahoma. I'm not saying it's going to be like that, but you can kind of look this far out and say, okay, we're starting to put some steps in that direction, and it'll take a lot of steps to get there. So we need all the rain we can get, not only in the Great Plains, but even right here locally as far as things go, with things that severe drought from Springfield to Decatur. That includes like Illiopolis, Niantic, up towards Maroa. You've got Mount Pulaski in on it, northern Christian County up by Mount Auburn. That's where the worst of it is. In the spring, we know the Decatur Lake, I should say, is down a bit. I think it was like 68% last I heard a couple days ago on the news. And so that's something we need to get some rain in. We should be averaging in central Illinois this time of year about a ½ inch of rain each week. This last week we really didn't get it. We're probably not going to get any of that until Friday, Saturday. The drought monitor, the data is calculated on Tuesday, and then it comes out on Thursday. So we'll get another update on the Tuesday to Tuesday time frame on Thursday, just before we get that next round of rain. It's possible this may worsen just a little bit, but we'll see what we can't get. If we get an inch or inch and a half out of this next system, that might be the best case scenario for us here moving forward. All right, the extended outlooks. I know folks like to wonder what's going on. This is the following week, so starting next Sunday after that first system rolls on through. This is a game of odds at this point. You're looking at a bigger picture here. Today, tomorrow, I'm looking at an individual tree and seeing what kind of leaves it has, detail-oriented. We get Wednesday through Friday and even Saturday, Sunday. We're starting to look at, there's a grove of trees there, and we could tell they're either pine trees or they're deciduous trees. You can't get down to the fine details. This pattern here, we start to look from a distance, and we can see there's a forest off in the distance, the way I like to describe it. Shout out to my undergrad professor, Dr. Cordy, for sharing that analogy. And so the forest in the distance for us here is that we could see better odds for a wetter pattern settling on in. So we'll be optimistic and hope that plays out. If that happens again, the week of December 14th through 20th, that would mean we'd get more than about a ½ inch, more than likely, close to, if not a little more. So that may suggest another system rolls on in sometime in that time period. On the contrary, though, if you're a snow lover, this is not what you want to see. The odds are above normal for warmer than average temperatures. Our average this time of year is upper 30s and low 40s. So when you see a map like this, you're more than likely to guess that, you snow lovers aren't going to get your big snow event in this next 8 to 14 day period. You want that as far as it goes. We'll watch it, we'll monitor it, but the trends we look at here, I'll be honest, meteorology will humble you in a heartbeat. And I say, hey, we may get another system that rolls on in and the odds look warmer. Well, in a game of odds, if you're doing heads or tails, half the times you get heads, well, half the time you may get tails. Here it's probably more of a rolling the dice and 4 out of 6. So 2 out of 6 chances maybe looking like maybe, you know, something might happen. That's kind of how it goes as far as it is. So we'll watch and see, but the outlook does suggest maybe a little wetter than average and then more than likely warmer than average. This would probably mean 40s, maybe upper 40s at times. We'll just have to wait and see how things shake out. But I'm not saying either we may have a cold day in place. That could also happen. We get a quick front rolls on through and cools us down for a day or two. But the big picture, the wide picture, the forest in the distance, is that warmer and wetter weather may continue right up to before Christmas. You'd like to see this wetter and colder, you snow lovers, especially getting close to Christmas. I know some folks probably want white Christmas. If you want a white Christmas, let me know in the comments. I wouldn't mind it. It's been, oh, good grief. I moved out of Illinois back in 2015, and I don't think we had one then. So for me, it's been a good 5, 6, 7 years more than likely. Some of you probably can fill in the details on that. We didn't get white Christmases in the South. The only Christmas we had in the South, Mississippi and whatnot, for a number of years, we just get tornadoes. So, going to be nice to be up here in the winter weather back home in central Illinois. All right, y'all, I think that's what I got here. Look, quick check at radar over the past 5, 6 hours. It hasn't shown much. We think with low clouds in place, that upper level disturbance coming our way, some flurries will be there. The time now as we end this video and get close to wrapping it up is having us at about 8:20 or 8:21, it looks like, just about 8:22. So we're going to try and do this every Sunday night as far as it goes. And I hope you'll plan to join me sometime around 8 o'clock. 8 to 8:10, you can kind of keep your eyes out. We get to catch up a little bit, talk about the week ahead, maybe tell a joke. Anybody got any good jokes? Not the Bears. I'm a Packers fan, sorry. But I just do the weather. Let me just remind you that. I don't do sports. But that's what we got. So, yeah. All right, thanks, y'all, for checking on in here. We'll have the updates 9 o'clock WCIX. We will be on at about 10:30 is what I've been told. We're delayed due to sports today on CBS. One last comment, too. I know some folks are like, oh, I don't have Dish Network. We're not on Dish anymore. That's above my pay grade, but I'll encourage you that if you don't have us, get an antenna. And here's another reason why. Think of during a severe weather event, or you've got rain and storms coming through. If you've got a satellite dish DirecTV, I'm not doing anything. I'm not, you know, trying to single out Dish, but you get a storm that rolls over your neighborhood, and a lot of times that satellite goes down. Growing up, that was the case with our family. We had an antenna, and I grew up watching WCIA on the antenna during severe weather events. It was a way to stay safe and keep up to date with it. That antenna, $10, $15, more than that. My mom and dad at home got an antenna in Gibson City. My aunt in Catlin has one they can watch. And so it's a great way to just kind of build your severe weather plan, is to have that antenna so you can, oh, the satellite dish isn't working in a heavy rain in the neighborhood. We got severe weather. Well, that's just a way for you to keep informed and have an extra layer of protection as far as things go. So that's my encouragement. Of course, we'll be posting updates on the WCIA3 app, Facebook, Twitter, social media, the Alexa. If you got Alexa at home, you can download the flash briefing from us and get that app, the WCIA3 app. We update that at least twice a day. Call the weather line. We keep information updated there for the forecast. You can find that web number on the website and on the app as well. As you call in, hear our voice, hear you tell the forecast. So that is what I got for y'all here for Central Illinois. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Meteorologist Jacob Dickey. We will wrap this up and see y'all at 9 on WCIX, our sub-channel for the 9 o'clock news, and then at about 10:30 on CBS. Take care, have a great night, and we'll keep in touch.